time, in a school far away, there lived a young orchestra family. The lead conductor, Adit, had 3 sons, Ben, Christian, and Ze. He also had 1 stepson named Adrian. Ben, Adit's favorite child, was completely tone deaf, but that didn't really matter much to Adit.
Good job!
Adit's second favorite, Christian, only played loud. He could play somewhat in tune, but refused to play anything under a forte. Adit's third favorite, Ze, was missing a little something up there. He knew what an appropriate volume was to play at, but also didn't know how to count past 3. Unlike his other 3 stepbrothers, Adrian was a natural musical prodigy, having been born with perfect pitch.
It's a G flat.
Adrian also had an unshakable sense of rhythm, which he used to teach others who lacked it. Unfortunately, Adrian also played the viola, a sin so evil that he was rightfully abused. And now begins the story of Adrian and his musical family.
I can't wait to go to the banquet tonight. The beautiful princess is gonna be there.
You attend the banquet? You have to be at least good at your instrument in order to attend the banquet.
Yeah, you can't even play in 2!
Yeah, you have to be good at your instrument. You can't even play a mezzo piano.
Yeah, you can't even count to 1, 2, 3, 4.
Sickened by Adrian's disgusting instrument, Adit and his sons decided to finally do something about it.
How are you gonna play without this?
No! Play without this! What are you doing, Stepbro?
If you'll excuse us, Adrian, we have to get to the banquet.
After Adrian's instrument and belongings were destroyed, he went alone in his room to cry, all by himself.
We'll be together someday, darling. Why do they have to be so mean to us? We'll be together someday. We have to be like this.
Don't cry, my sweet child. Your fairy godmother will help you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. But I can't go to the banquet. I don't have an instrument.
Worry not, my darling. I shall forge you an even better instrument than you had before. Now hand me that tissue box, son. Come here.
Thank you so much. How can I ever repay you? Wait a minute. This is a violin, not a viola.
Trust me, this instrument's a lot better.
You're right. This is better. Thank you so much. I should get to the banquet.
region tryouts, auditions. I was in, I was practicing and I didn't practice them at all. I could kind of play it, but I figured if I was going to audition, have an embarrassing audition, I might as well, I don't know, do something crazy. So I auditioned with the Can Can song.
Oh my god.
And then Mr. D came up to me after. I felt so bad because he was like, he said that the judges were really angry and I was like really embarrassed, but it's okay.
So this year when we were practicing with the One Church Gloria Days choir, Christian, Parsa, and I walked into the girls' bathroom, and we're like, we didn't know it was the girls' bathroom, alright? We were like inside, and we were like, where are all the urinals and stuff?
I remember.
We were so confused. And
Christian.
Christian and Parsa used the bathroom. I walked outside.
They used the bathroom?
Yeah, they actually used it. I walked outside and I saw women's bathroom. I was like, oh crap.
On the Chicago trip, I had brought my blow-up animal alien doll, and I called him Requise. And every day before day before we would leave to go out and do whatever we wanted to do, I would tuck Requise in. I would tuck Requise in the bed, and each time we would come back, whoever was cleaning our room would just toss Requise to the side of the room, and on that way back, Requise was popped. So at some point, the main popped Requise because she was so pissed off that I kept touching her.
So this was like one of the best trips I've ever had, and yet I will never forget the traumatization I faced those nights. So after the first day, it was pretty normal. And then we get back to the hotel. I think I remember I went to the lobby to meet up with some friends. I come back. And we had chicken wings or something for that day. And I go in my hotel room. I'm about to use my toilet. I open the lid.
Oh no.
And there was just chicken bones and leftover food in the toilet. I talked to my roommate, and then Trey's like, "Oh, that's gumbo." Nick is like, "We cooking some up for tonight." And the thing is, the door wasn't like one of those. It was a sliding door, so you couldn't shut it all the way. So sometimes in the middle of the night, you just get a whiff of the gumbo.
Freshman year, whenever Buffalo and Black were out, Aiden and I, we came in here, brought all the stands, all the chairs in here, and we made a big fort. I have a picture. It was like this whole corner of the room.
Yeah, it was a pretty sizable fort.
You inside of it.
Yeah, and Casper was there too.
Yeah.
Casper, yeah.
Mr. Buffalo walked in on me and my ex making out in the practice.
No!
Yeah! And I feel like that's why I didn't get into Chamber 2 that year, but it also could have been because I was bad at playing. But that's a juicy confession. That's also why I didn't go to the banquet that year too.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
No.
Because I was like, oh, I don't really want to see Mr. Buffalo after that because it was the last day of finals.
Yeah.
Or like something, like before the banquet pretty much.
What about the sheet music that fell into the piano?
Oh my god! I forgot!
What happened with that?
The Wii Sports sheet music. I forgot about it. I actually forgot. Okay, this is what happened. Okay, so we were messing with the piano, right? And so you can like lift the pedal, and it which like moves like all the hammers from the like the strings, right? And so then we closed it so that like it would so that the paper was like in between the hammers and the string
And hold it up, yeah.
Yeah, and so it would just make this like weird but like cool sound effect where it was like you could hear the hammers hit the paper. Yeah. And we're like, this is cool. And then I started playing something, and I was playing something that requires the pedal, right? And the pedal lifts the hammers up, all the hammers up at the same time. So all the paper just go flying down to the bottom of the piano, and there's no way to get it out.
And Mr. Black offered me some bell pepper, his wife packed him for lunch. So I was like, yeah, I'll take him. And I bite into the bell pepper, and I'm talking, I think I'm starting to parse it, and I look inside it, and there's a worm inside this bell pepper. I was about to sue this man. I confront him about it, and he says, yeah.
It was like in New York when so the New York bathrooms in our hotel room, they didn't have locks or anything.
Oh.
So
oh my god.
what is it?
TNEA.
Oh, is it? Yeah, sorry, it's TNEA. And then so me and my roommates decide if there's a bow tie on the door handle, that means someone's using the bathroom. So, I had just come out of the shower, I think. Yeah, I had come out of the shower.
No, you were pissing.
No, I was definitely came out of the shower because I remember having a towel.
Oh, yeah.
I had a towel.
Yeah,
I was
you had a
wearing a
towel.
towel.
Oh.
And so, and Adrian, as I'm wrapping my towel, closing it up, he slams the door. Now, first of all, you heard the shower. You definitely heard the shower. So you heard the shower and still open.
I had to go, bro.
Yeah. Wait, no, there's just like this moment where I was really like, if you came in like 1 second earlier, you'd get an eyeful.
Hey, you didn't continue the story. After that, you would just wrap towels around and walk around naked around the whole room. I was like, bro, just put on some clothes. And you're like, shut up, I'll flash you.
My favorite, this is a short story, my favorite moment was when we saw Mr. Buffalo's son for the first time, and everyone freaked out.
He just looks so different.
Like, everyone freaked out. Like, all the girls were like, oh, no way!
You know the two that were?
No, who was it?
Wait, can you bleep this out too?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah.
Bro, they were all over him! Literally at the airport, they were doing TikTok dances and like in front of him, and they're like trying to get him to like dance with them.
Oh gosh, I'm laughing.
Okay, moving on.
Okay.
Playing at the what is it? Last year.
Was
Dallas? No,
TNEA?
TNEA.
Oh, TNEA. Oh, that was fun.
I do have a moment from that actually. I think I mentioned they had these little orange horns.
Oh my god!
Like all the guys picked one up, and we went and just blasted those horns in the middle of the street.
Do you remember in New York when we like got hand sanitizer from that YouTuber that was?
Oh my gosh, yes. I don't remember his
It's
name.
on YouTube. We're famous. Yeah, it's like
Yeah, he was an ex-BuzzFeed guy.
Yeah, and Parson was coughing on everyone. Oh my god.
Outside like the top of Italy or something.
Yeah.
And these guys just come up with a camera and they're just hand sanitizer. And Parsons like
6 feet away! 6 feet away!
Oh my god, I know who you are. What's up?
Oh my god!
Yes, of course.
Hey! Oh my god, I love you!
Oh, did you just cough, bro? Stay 10 feet away. Jesus Christ. Take it. Oh my god, is that the pump fairy? Pump fairy. Get your pumps. Yo, get your... Okay, good luck, guys. Stay healthy. Stay safe.
At Great Wolf Lodge, a freshman year, I was like, okay, Zai, because Zai and I it was like, Zai and I slept in the same bed, and it was Christian, Zah, and then Jerry sleeps in his own bed. So I was like, okay, Zai, I'm gonna put a pillow barrier, okay? This means you don't cross the line, Zai. And he's like, okay, bro, I got it. So he goes to bed. I wake up the next morning, he's hugging my leg. Just my entire leg. All the pillows are just knocked off the bed, and he's just hugging my leg.
I did that unconsciously. Yo, on the same night, I remember like Adrian like tried to throw my arms off or something, and for some reason like I was like half awake or something. I just like grabbed him.
Grabbing onto you.
During last semester and the beginning of this semester, so me and Christian, we're both CC, right? And like we eventually came to a habit of getting on league and playing from the end of second period or the middle of second period to fifth period. Yeah, we would do that over and over again.
When we first started school and we were all like ever had to take like online classes, I think that's the most I've ever just like not listened at all to a teacher. Like I remember sitting in econ, I went to Discord
And I get online and Benny's like streaming himself playing Valorant. So I hopped in. He was like, "Hey, you play Valorant?" He's like, "Yeah." So I'm like, "Hey, can I hop in?" So I have two monitors, and I'm playing Valorant on one screen, and then we're taking an econ quiz on the other screen. And I'm like, "Hey, we gotta finish the round, bro."
The pandemic has really lowered my motivation.
It really is.
Yeah.
Especially in the beginning.
And like people talk about how bad senioritis is, and then you add in COVID.
Because we had like online school for like the first few months, it created this habit for me to like sleep in during classes. So like I have like 61 absences for second period alone because I just slept through, and like now I have 16 hours of credit appeal.
No.
Yeah, I
Really?
just got the letter today.
I know for CC kids, we kind of look forward to Wednesdays because that's when we get to see everyone else for full.
Yeah,
for real. Like that's like the highlight of our week, basically.
it's like obviously like we're practicing and everything. It's like we're grinding out the work, but it's also just like fun to be there because like when we were in person, right, and we were always like, oh, I gotta wait for violas, and we gotta wait for everyone to learn their parts, and we just sit here. But like now that we're just alone all the time, just sitting there is like, more fun than just being at home and doing nothing all day.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm a very like introverted person, so for me it's very hard to like be social. But like junior year, I was finally like learning how to actually like socialize with people. But then after the pandemic, the first rehearsal we had, I was like, it was just like, oh, what do I say? Like, how do I talk and socialize with people again?
I will say that I got closer with a lot of other people more than I had before, just because we're the only ones here. Well, yeah, I mean, but I think that's a good thing. We kind of formed our own like clique,
But I still miss you guys at home.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think orchestra like kind of gave me like friends that I wouldn't have had otherwise, and honestly that's like kind of the reason I stuck with orchestra, because like I'm not like all in like I don't want to play orchestra or my viola in college just because that's not really why I was in orchestra. It's really just because like the people are cool and the directors are fun, and it's just kind of a fun experience that no one else I feel like gets to have.
I love all you guys, and I love all the orchestra. You guys made my high school years. So this program is amazing.
Like literally, this has been home base for the last.
Yes.
It really has been. Yeah, every single time you meet anyone, it's always go to the orchestra room. Yeah.
It's like a family.
Yes.
Very tacky.
It is like a family.
It's so tacky, and yet
like family.
Yeah, we say it all the time.
Mainly for me, it's the people I met in orchestra. When you're just like paired up with a bunch of studious people, you want to work harder to be at the same level as your friends.
Mr. Black and Mr. Buffalo. Freshman year, because I didn't really talk to anyone the first semester, they'd always be like, why don't you smile a little? And I always felt a little bad because they always thought I wasn't smiling. But it's okay. I'd say they think I've improved and are a little annoyed with me now, actually. They probably wish they didn't pull me out of my show.
So like my goal with orchestra was to make Chamber 1 like for sophomore year and be Chamber 1 for 3 years, and I didn't make it. And so not making Chamber 1 that year like really opened my eyes to how what I was not doing to become like better, and it kind of put this kind of like self-improvement like philosophy, I guess, in me. So I just started. So now like junior year I became like much more productive, and this year as well. And I progressed a lot more than if I had stayed the same way before.
I think orchestra definitely made high school, at least for me, like pretty fun. Like if I wasn't in orchestra, I think high school would suck, because it would totally suck if I wasn't in orchestra. But because of orchestra, I would say that I actually liked my high school experience.
Yeah. Like, orchestra is definitely like one of the things about high school that like you're definitely gonna miss a lot.
Yeah. A lot of teachers don't really check up on you. I noticed that. And like Mr. Black, he like personally contacted me. He was like, hey, you doing okay? Like doing stuff like that, like it helps.
Our orchestra is just, I've become a better person. Buffalo and Black are such great role models.
Now we become more very supportive. And
Yes,
very helpful.
Not just
Really-
for orchestra, just for life. in
Yeah.
general.
There's a lot of things that they've helped me through, and I'm very appreciative of that.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
We love you.
I would say for orchestra as a whole, especially for Chamber 1, if if we can do things, accomplish things like we can win, TMEA, win National Cup, I think a lot of what that has to do with is the whole orchestra really has to be on the same page. I mean, talent is important, right? In my opinion, I think communication is even more important than that. Making sure that everyone is on the same page, everyone is working hard together, everyone is actually learning their part.
Like I noticed for me and some other people I've talked to, it's like when you practice harder music, you become better. And so like if there was kind of that push, that environment where it's like we're encouraging other people to learn harder music, and like overall the orchestra will get better. All the upperclassmen should like try to foster this kind of environment where it's like everybody pushes each other to practice harder, learn new music, harder music. So overall the orchestra gets better, and it makes Mr. Black and Mr. Buffalo's job a lot easier.
For advice to the underclassmen, definitely get involved with the community. Like don't seek to isolate yourself and form like little groups, because the greater orchestra community is like so accepting, and it's not just like one specific group. Like we've kind of built up that culture.
And don't be afraid to get out of your comfort zone and just talk to like your peers, because just make it a good time.
Yeah,
you know?
everyone's in like the same boat.
Yeah.
So like everyone's just as nervous as you.
Also,
just
they
as
know
awkward.
if you're putting your phone on your stand and trying to text someone. So
They definitely do.
Mainly, my advice, like for the directors, too. So I'm like there during 7th and last year after school, and they lose their minds for us. They lose their minds. They put on a lot of stress on themselves, and I guess my advice to like the directors is to take a break. It seems like you're constantly working. I've seen Buffalo pound his head a lot of times, just lose like his cool, and just to like make sure the experience is good for us. So take a break.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, today we'll be playing a game called Who Posted It? The rules are simple. I will show you a social media post without the name, and you try to guess which of the directors posted it. This one was by Mr. Buffalo. Did you guess it right? Let's see if you can get the next ones too. Unfollow is a resourceful social media tool.
See, like I was thinking Buffalo because I know Mr. Buffalo, like he likes to make things real blunt, but you know,
That's true, yeah.
like that is something Mr. Black would say.
So this is definitely Buffalo, because Buffalo does not care about like he'll say what he thinks. He doesn't care. So that's why I think it's Buffalo.
But I think Mr. Black is like more snarky in his comments.
But I don't know if he would like put this out there.
I think
yeah,
he'd
that's
put it
what
out
I'm saying.
Like
It
I
has
don't know.
138 likes. Who's more popular?
I feel like I've heard Mr. Black say like
Stuff like this.
Yeah.
Who posted these words of wisdom? That was Mr. Buffalo.
I deleted 563 people off my Facebook friends list over that 2-day period. Because most of it was stemmed from I got tired of every time I would go on Facebook of people posting all their political rants and opinions and negativity. I couldn't stand it anymore.
Hooked up the old DVD player to my generator extension cord and dusted off the DVDs in a drawer. Why did I choose to watch The Notebook? Now I'm sitting here blubbering like an idiot while my dog is looking at me like I'm crazy. No more chick flicks for me today. I'm getting too sensitive in my old age.
Mr. Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Yeah. Chick flicks?
I
The
mean,
fact that he said idiot.
I feel like he said like blubbering too.
Blubbering,
Yeah.
Okay, would Black watch The Notebook?
Probably not.
Buffalo would watch The Notebook. He would.
Yeah. He's more emotional.
Yeah, would Black do it though?
Thing is, this is like the same amount of comments and likes as Buffalo.
Actually, this might be Buffalo.
I think it's Buffalo just because of the emojis at the end.
I think because the amount of comments.
Who posted it? That was Mr. Buffalo.
Do you still watch chick flicks?
Absolutely.
For sure.
Steel Magnolias, Bring It On, Beaches. That was gonna make Beaches. That'll tear your heart out too. Yeah.
Beaches.
Yes, I'm a hot cocoa and Hallmark guy at Christmas.
I still don't want Bud Light.
Mr. Buffalo. Mr. Buffalo.
Wait, okay. So someone probably asked them if they want Bud Light, and they asked, do you want one Bud Light?
Or maybe it's a reply to like a post.
Yeah, it's like some kind of inside joke or something.
Yeah, I think it's an inside joke.
Just black drink.
Mr. Buffalo drink? Candy drink?
Wait, no, I remember a conversation during lunchtime where Mr. Buffalo was like, I like fruity drinks.
No, Buffalo said he likes wine and champagne. He says he likes the. I'm pretty sure he's the one who said he likes the fruity ones. And Black drinks the tequila and the.
Yeah,
really?
I think I've heard that.
Yeah, but now it's confusing because they're talking about beer. So I don't know.
And this is Bud Light. It's basically water.
That was Mr. Black.
I think it was probably Super Bowl commercials. There's probably a million Bud Light commercials that were probably funny. But it's like, yeah, Bud Light is nasty, so I still don't want it. That's probably what it was.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm a teacher, so I don't drink. But if I did, I would not drink Bud Light because it's nasty. So I've heard.
Thanksgiving equals cheat day equals food coma equals nap time equals carb overload equals tummy trouble equals start cycle over.
All the emojis. Mr. Buffalo.
Mr. Buffalo. I like how he copy pasted like the emoji set.
I feel like this is adult Twitter. Like
Adult Twitter.
Also, I remember like last year.
Actually, I remember seeing this one maybe.
The school gave out like cake to the teachers, and I remember Buffalo eating it, and he immediately had to like go throw up because he ate so much.
That's the progression. Like when you see the food, when you're like about to eat the food, and then after you eat the food, and then you get sick, and then you go to the bathroom, and then you feel accomplished.
Who posted it? That was Mr. Buffalo.
Yes, that was Thanksgiving Day, and that was back when I hadn't eaten. I basically had a whole cheat day. I was eating stuff that I don't normally eat anymore. Dressing and pies, and anyway, and my system was just like, ooh, and it went in and went out real quick, and then started it, and let me start cycle over again. As me, half of those over, I went and ate more, and did it all over again. So.
Who posted this 6-paragraph essay on why oatmeal raisin cookies are actually not that bad?
That's Black. Who wants to do this? Who wants to do this? Black.
Yeah.
This has to be Black.
And Mr. Black. Like, I feel like Mr. Black's the one who puts thought and effort into his social media posts.
There's no way Mr. Buffalo would ever spend his time writing like that.
Buffalo wouldn't go through trouble. He wouldn't do that.
The words are like big and long.
Black.
Something black.
That was Mr. Black.
I get really, really tired of people saying, the worst thing ever happened was I bit into a chocolate chip cookie only to find out it was oatmeal raisin because they couldn't tell. That annoys me because like oatmeal raisin is the best cookie ever.
And this was also written around the same time that Mr. Black, we've both been working on our master's degree, so in our classes we have to write a lot. And Mr. Black is a very good writer, but he gets inspired from these classes, so then he made this dissertation on oatmeal cookies.
Yeah, we had a 2-week break between classes, and I was feeling a little bit withdrawal with writing, so I had to write something.
Who posted this picture of a broken toe?
I think it's Buffalo.
I think it's Buffalo too.
I think it's
feel
Mr.
like-
Buffalo.
I hate to say it, but I think Mr. Black has hairy toes.
Yeah, I agree.
think about it.
I agree.
Oh gosh.
Wait. Buffalo's nails are short and stubby.
How do you know
Oh, wait.
Yeah, Buffalo.
That should be Buffalo.
Buffalo.
I feel like Mr. Black would have bigger toes.
The hair. The hair
Yeah.
is blonde.
Yeah.
What hair?
Who posted that? That was Mr. Buffalo.
I tripped over a rock in the landscaping bed carrying a bag of mulch, but I shouldn't have been doing yard work barefooted. But that's what I was doing. And I stubbed my toe on one of those big rocks I have outside the front of my house. Yeah.
Yard work barefooted?
Yeah. Because see, that's the country in me. I like to be out in the yard barefoot. It's just, so.
Were you wearing overalls without a shirt too?
I wasn't wearing a shirt.
Who changed their profile picture to a lion?
Only Black would do this.
The fact that you just put a lion, that was such a like boomer thing to say.
I feel like Mr. Black is the person to put a photo that's not
You know what?
himself
Yeah,
on his
I
profile.
agree.
I feel like Mr. Buffalo
I'll go
wants
with that.
a picture of
Mr. Black. I just like said like Mr. Buffalo likes photos of himself. So yeah, Mr. Black.
I can just imagine Buffalo posting that. I could not imagine
Oh,
Black.
It can be either.
No, that's something Buffalo would do.
What? It's just so random. It could be either. It's a random line. It's a random line. I don't know who it could be.
That was Mr. Black.
For me, I'm a very, very quiet person. But if I'm provoked or if I know that the people I love are in danger, I mean, like, I'm not gonna roar or anything like that, but that's how I
Come on,
feel.
roar for us.
Roar!
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So really, I feel like sometimes spiritually, I'm that lion.
I just discovered a new talent of mine. Can you lick your armpit too? This is awesome.
I think this is Black.
That's only Black.
So gross, dude.
Why did you release this post then?
This is also something Mr. Black says a lot.
Okay,
but he seems like he would do this
I
random
feel like
raw
Mr.
XD
Black
type
was
humor.
really tired. Or he was just like in a weird
Yeah,
mood.
this totally
And this is what happened.
But that after I talked, Mr. Black.
Buffalo would
Black.
never.
How did you have more comments than likes?
Like Mr. Buffalo would just be like hashtag or no,
And then he had
he'd
the
be like that.
emojis.
He'd be like armpit licking armpit equal cool.
And they had the tongue emoji and like the arm emoji like that.
Who posted it? That was Mr. Black.
I didn't write that. My stepdaughter Soraya, who's like 29 now, she actually broke into my Facebook. I left the password in, and she actually wrote that. So yeah, I have no idea why that's still there, but you know, can you lick your armpit? It's like licking your nose, right? Yeah.
Wish I could say I got a good night's sleep. However, the air vent in my room decided to perform a non-stop percussion concerto all night for drumsticks and cowbell. All musicians will feel my pain, as it's not that easy to just tune this out, no pun intended. But I'm about to seriously stab someone.
Black.
Black.
Why do you think it's Black?
It's the drumsticks.
sentence.
Anything about percussion, concerto. It's
Anything longer than like 10 words. Anything with like
thought. No,
anything with like quotation marks, parentheses, commas.
I think it's Black. The only thing that makes me like second guess myself is like he's like, oh, I'm seriously about this.
Yeah.
I feel like it's Mr. Black, because if it was Mr. Buffalo, he would immediately go down to the front desk and ask for me.
If Black said I was gonna stab someone, I wouldn't be worried. Buffalo says it, I better like lock my door.
Who posted that? That was Mr. Buffalo.
Yeah, it was our hotel team meeting at the, what do you call it? The one where the All-Staters stayed. Not the one y'all stayed at. But
Then we stayed
yeah. Yep.
Did you get any sleep that night?
No, I didn't really. Not much. I did not.
Who posted this meme?
Buffalo, I think. That's his type of meme. It is
Yeah.
his type of meme.
It's a very masculine thing.
Yeah, but like also Mr. Buffalo, I remember him complaining one time. I'm sorry, Mr. Buffalo's daughter, but he was complaining one time about his daughter's makeup or something.
Buffalo has this exact type of boomer humor.
Buffalo's more likely to use a meme, right?
Oh, I think it's Buffalo. I think it's Buffalo.
Yeah, it's probably Buffalo.
Who posted that? That was Mr. Black, with a surprisingly wholesome twist.
When she cleans it, it's like spotless. It's spotless. Yeah. Like, you can eat dinner off. But yeah.
Keep sucking up there, big boy.
Yep. I do have to go home at some point.
For both of us, I would say this has been a really difficult year for us, and I guess the biggest challenge was the lack of connection with our students, the personal connections and the relationships, and I feel like that also carried over in the orchestra program because a lot of the students don't know the other students in the other classes because we didn't have any social events this year, and then having people at home, it's just different communicating online. And I know for us it was very difficult, just the instructional side of it, because orchestra is just not easy to do online, period. And trying to not feel like we're ignoring the people that were at Clear Connections, but trying to maintain our program here and keep up the daily routine is pretty daunting and exhausting, really, mentally exhausting more than physically, I think.
Online orchestra, as everybody who's not doing online orchestra, it doesn't work. It just, you miss the, not only playing with the group, you know, and knowing your parts and everything, but really what Mr. Buffalo said was kind of the fellowship between students. That's the best part of orchestra next to the music. I mean, getting to play with your friends and the social aspect as well, you know, playing together. So also just time. There's not time for everything. We try to get everything done. Mr. Buffalo and I both have high, you know, incredible work ethics, just really, really hard work ethics and expectations, and it's really hard to have those expectations and knowing we can't meet those just because of everything that has to get done. So really this year I think I've worked later in the evening than I ever have, even since I was a first year teacher. So it was tough.
Absolutely. For me, it was the smiles and the fun that was on everyone's face when we played Sing 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 at the end of TMA.
Oh yeah.
To me, that was cool because it was like everybody was relaxed and just kind of having fun, and
Sure.
it's like all that work built up to that point, and it was like all the intense part of the program was over, and then it was just like, let's just let loose and have a good time. And you can see that even in watching the video that people are just having good. That's a very memorable moment for me.
Sure.
And then obviously the New York trip, you know, hearing Clear Lake being named the national champions, that's always a cool moment, and hearing the auditorium erupt and a lot of cheering and all that. That was really, really cool. But yeah, I think that was probably my most memorable thing for
Yeah.
me.
I think performance-wise, it was probably Team EA 2020 because it was really fun playing the drums. But no, that was a really, really amazing concert. In the New York trip as well, I agree. But I think one of my favorite things, kind of involving everybody, was the, like, well, not locking, but whatever.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
the activity we did out in the parking lot. When was that? 2020?
That was last year.
That was last year. That was
Fall.
so much fun. It was like the first time we ever did anything kind of like that.
Yeah. Watching the seniors play at the concerto competition, all of them, you know, just to get up there and do that is just a huge accomplishment. But just seeing how far they've come as musicians is exciting. And then I think about Kate Zimmerman signing for Baylor.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool.
That's really
Getting
awesome.
to see her do that, and she's going off sipping beers.
Oh, so as much as I hate Soul Ensemble, hate Soul Ensemble, all the work that goes behind it, Mr. Buffalo hates it too, but it's really kind of cool hearing you guys do what you do on your own, those who do Soul Ensemble. And then Mrs. Chan invited me in to go hear Christian play the Brahms. It was really pretty cool. That was the first time, Christian, I actually heard you seriously play with that kind of tone and musicality, so that was kind of special for me. But I like to see what you all do on your own with, like, your own solos with your private teachers, stuff like that. I would say, really, the whole entire senior class is just, since they're a freshman, they've been characters. Definitely characters, and not in a bad way at all, but just the personalities since you all were freshmen.
Definitely
For sure.
a very diverse group of personalities
Yep.
that make it fun and frustrating,
Yep.
and exciting all at the same time. This year's senior class, there's a lot of strength in all the orchestras, not just the chamber one, but all the way down, and a lot of great leaders. And it definitely will have an impact when they're gone next year, just because they've been involved so much in what we've done in the past 5 years of our program with honor orchestra, nationals, twice, Midwest, and a lot of our big highlights.
Seniors, you've all done a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. Probably more than any class has ever done.
I mean, obviously, there's the gifted playing of so many people. I mean, watching David grow as a cellist and seeing where, his achievements have been, and the same with Yanza and Olivia, how far she's come, because I've known Olivia since she was just a little bitty kid when she first started playing violin.
Yeah, I've known Olivia since she started crying every time I came to her house.
Yeah. I would too if you came to my house.
Yeah.
But anyway. I just feel like I hate to single out anybody in particular, because there's so many things about everybody that I'll remember.
Hey, F sharp, you know who you are.
Yeah, F sharp. And I think Simon, I remember seeing him at Clear Lake Intermediate when he was in the orchestra there, and I don't think he was really planning to do orchestra, but I walked up and talked to him, and I was like, hey man, I can't wait to have you in our bass section at Clear Lake, and kind of told him what all we do, and so he stayed in, and he's really blossomed into a great leader too, for sure. And Parsa, I remember when Parsa auditioned in 8th grade, I was not even expecting that they could actually play. I didn't mean that rude. I'm just saying, because all these people were coming in auditioning, I was like, and then he comes in, he tells me he's auditioning for Chamber 2, and I was like, okay, whatever, in the back of my mind, and then he just goes to town on that etude, and I was like, I didn't even know what to say, my mouth hit the floor, I was like, oh wow, that was really good. So,
Quinn is definitely, when I first met her personality that's developed is not who I thought she would be.
Yeah, I still have the infamous Santa joke. Yeah, so I'll always treasure that, Quinn. Thank you for that.
And Christian, I remember just listening outside the door and thinking it was David playing with that tone. So that's the incredible what you've done with your cello playing too, Christian.
And Adrian, with all our morning office visits and talks and chats. Adrian Abbott has been great. And Mamta, I appreciate you being a leader.
Tenacious.
Yes, she's been such a leader, and she's the Phil 1 4-year rep, but she rocked it all the way, and we really appreciate her leadership this year.
Jerry, thank you that you play better than your sister.
That's bad. That's bad. Yeah. And thank you for getting rides so that you can get here to rehearsal.
Yeah, I appreciate that too. Also. Oh, Zahi, between freshman and sophomore year, I was like, who was that kid? Started practicing finally.
Yeah.
And then Atef also just turning it on.
Yeah, really did.
Yeah. It was really, really the whole senior class watching the growth of what you came in still really good, but what you've done since you were juniors, and then you didn't really know much what you did your senior year if you were online. So.
I've actually, this year particularly, I've seen a lot of seniors step up and lead that probably, I wouldn't say wouldn't necessarily, but wouldn't have the opportunity, because a lot of our primary, what we would consider our primary leaders have been at home with their connections. So that's been great to see them step up into those positions.
Well, Olivia, I've known you since you were since you were born, but watching you grow into the musician and the human that you are has just been, incredible. And that's just, I think our relationship has grown since you've been in high school.
And I will say that I do I've really grown to like Zoe a lot over the past few years. I'll be honest, and there's a confession of that. I really didn't care for her much when she was in 8th grade. So I thought she was kind of slacking a lot, but love you, Zoe. But anyway, you've really grown into a great asset to the program, and I really appreciate that and your willingness to step up and get better. I think she always had a heart to do that, but sometimes her drive wasn't always quite there.
I think Adrian Abbott has really pushed himself a lot over the last 4 years, and grown a lot as a musician and kind of socially as well. I don't know, he's always been kind of outgoing, right? But just kind of the leader that he's become as well. I've seen his growth in there, especially around the friends that he keeps, who are way more outgoing than he is, I think. Person, David's not here, but
But there's some people that have never really changed their personality. Like I think about Simon. Simon is a very genuine person and was the same person no matter who he's around and who he is influenced by. He's still the same person, very kind. And now I think of people like David Kim, who's got a little bit more arrogant over the past 4 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's a little more cocky. And Yanza, he's always been cocky, so it runs in the family. Right. I guess skipped Ruth, but Ming's got a little bit of that disease too.
Does he?
I just love that.
We love you.
Yeah, but Atef is a little bit more outspoken than he used to be. Quinn is definitely not the person I thought she was after freshman year.
Right.
She's a little, yeah. So I guess no one, I would say that any drastic changes.
I don't think so.
Just little personality things that people have kind of come into their own as they've gotten older.
You know, I've had a lot of health issues over the last 5 years, and just the students that have stepped up and shown concern for me has just been, it's really touches my heart. Just people showing up at my door with baskets and all that stuff, and Mrs. Chan saying, somebody's coming over to deliver something, or Mrs. Denardis saying, a boy's going to drop something off your, you know, it just really touches me, just how much love you guys show. So I'm getting a little bit emotional right now.
Yeah,
so.
me too. You're making me emotional.
I'm sorry. Anyway, but just the love I see from our students.
Yeah.
And really, I mean, Mr. Buff and I are few of the staff that get to enjoy that because we see you guys for 4 years, you know.
Right.
And I know that a lot of students have their favorite teachers that they have for 1 year, maybe 2, you know, but we get to really know you guys, and that really means, that makes my career.
Yeah.
I don't have a job, I have a career, and, you know,
That's exactly right.
it's good to know that you guys are part of that. You know, seeing Adrian, you know, win the green belt over in Middlebrook, my dog, and just, you know, chatting after not seeing you for a long time. It means a lot. So
yeah. For me, the senior class brought my joy back to my teaching.
Yeah.
Because
It's true.
I'm getting emotional too. I was really burnt out and really wanted to quit.
Yeah.
After that, I'm not going to talk about it. Anyway, there was several years that were pretty rough. Up through about 2018, I guess. 15 through 18. Anyway, so the senior class really restored a lot of my joy of teaching and music. It hasn't always been rainbows and sprinkles, but it's kept me going and re-energized me and gave me new focus and purpose. You know, so.
Okay, so seriously, 2019 was our most talented group we've ever had, the graduating class of 2019. And then we're like, okay, we'll be rebuilding next year. And you guys go and win honor orchestra. What the heck?
Yeah.
You know, you guys, raw talent that you guys showed, but you're kind of always overshadowed by, you know, the class of 2019. And then all of a sudden, like, you were the leaders and you're the ones who did it over, you know, we hadn't had an honor orchestra since 2014. And you guys were the ones that were supposed to be a rebuild. You were like, finally we had arrived there. So really that's where the joy comes from. It's not winning on orchestra, I mean, but getting the chance to do that with you guys, it's just, yeah. This is getting a little sappy.
Yeah.
We're gonna miss you guys.